Hi folks, this is how you set up a video editing project in Premiere Pro on your iMac. First of all, you need to take your SD card out of your camera that has got the footage on it and you plug it into the back of your iMac. It'll appear on the desktop. You may get an application called Image Capture opening. If you do get Image Capture opening, just go down here and select No Application and then Quit Image Capture, and that won't happen again. Next, you need to transfer the footage from the SD card into the right place on the Mac HD. So I'm going to double click the Mac HD and I'm going to go to the Movies folder in my home area. Now, you will have logged on with a user ID that is the word media followed by a letter, and that letter is the timetable block that you take media in. So I'm logged in as media A here, and I need to navigate to the Movies folder of media A. There's a quick way of doing it, which is just to click on Movies here and it takes you there. By the way, if your layout looks like this, which is a kind of iPod layout, you can click up here and select something that looks more simple, or at least it does to me. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the Movies folder where we keep all of our production work as it's being created, and I'm going to right click in that area and select New Folder and give it a name. Something that you will remember. Now I'm going to open that folder up, and then I'm going to open up the SD card, and you'll see an object called Private in there. That's the place where your footage is stored. So I'm going to go Copy Private. You could just drag and drop, but it's kind of safer to copy and paste. So I'm doing that, and that's now copied over. Now it's really, really important that I rename this straight away, because if I don't rename it and then I drag later on another folder called Private into here, then it is going to overwrite this one and I will lose my footage. So absolutely vital now, before I do anything else, to rename this folder. Now, a quirk of Macs is that you can't right click and find rename. So what you do is you click on it once and then you click very gently again and it sort of lights up, and we can give it a name, and you should give it a date and put the word footage on the end and you know what's in there. So that's the footage I took on the 23rd of May. If you've done an interview with somebody or something like that, you could say interview with so-and-so footage, but just make sure you do rename it. Now, I'm going to now remove the SD card, so I don't need it anymore. Eject, and that will come out. That's really important to do that as well, because you need to know that the footage you are working on is the footage that you have put onto the computer. So that's done. Now we need to open up Premiere Pro. So we go down here and we find Premiere Pro. This is called the dock. You pull your mouse off screen, your cursor off screen, and then the dock pops up. So I start Premiere Pro and I have to wait a very long time because it's a complicated program that loads lots of stuff. It's still loading, and then we get to here. Now, if you've got a project ongoing, it'll be listed in the recent project folder, but if you haven't, you click New Project. Now, we've really importantly got to give this project a name first of all. So Sean's first project, or something, whatever. Oops, can't spell. Something like that. And absolutely vitally, we've got to put that into the folder that we've just created. So Media A, Movies, or again, we can just click there, and there it is, Sean's first project. And I just choose that folder as the location for everything. And there it goes, User Media A, Movies, Sean's first project. That sets also the scratch disks, which is where all of the previews of audio and video are stored, and it's the same as the project file, project folder, so those will all be set up correctly. Once that's done, I can click OK. Make sure that your capture format is HTV, although it doesn't matter too much if you don't remember to do that. Now click OK, and we'll get a big set of options, available presets. Now, if you've used one of the college's camcorders, you will need to check our AVCHD 1080i 25 frames per second, or 50 interlaced frames per second. That's technical stuff that you don't need to worry about, but make sure you select that, because that's the kind of footage that our camcorders take. If you've used, say, a Canon DSLR or something else, you need to select an appropriate thing. It's not terribly worrying if you select the wrong one, because as soon as you drag some footage onto a timeline, it'll ask you if you want to change the timeline properties to match the footage, and you should always say yes you do to that if that happens. Right, so I've selected that, I click OK. Now I've got the Premiere Pro interface, and I need to first of all bring in my clips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go File, Import, and I'm going to select that folder and then that folder, and I'm going to click Import. And what will happen is it'll import the files and it'll spew out some that it doesn't need because they aren't video files. So we wait a little while and then you get this error message because those aren't video files. And you just click OK to that. And now here it appears in the project. Now if I double click that, it will show me the footage. If, by the way, it opens in a new window, when you double click that, I'll just go back to the top level there. If it opens in a new window, it's because a general preference is set to make it do that, which is that preference there. If I double click this now, you can see it'll open in a new window, which I absolutely don't want to happen. So I'm going to reset that preference to open in place. Okay, and there we go. There's my footage. This isn't the actual footage. This is just like a file path to where the footage is stored on the hard drive. So when I click that, it kind of brings it in from that folder on the hard drive. So if I delete this out of the project, it doesn't delete it off the hard drive. It just deletes the reference to it inside the project. So anyway, there we go. You can see up here, Sean's First Project is the name of that. Now I'm going to go File, Save, okay, and that saved that project. Now if I just quit Premiere Pro for a minute, what we've actually done is created the project inside the movies folder. There it is, and it's all this stuff that we've now created by setting up the project correctly. Most important thing to remember all the time is always when you pull in a private file into your project folder, make sure you rename it straight away before you import it. Okay, hopefully that's useful and you will be organised and keep all your files in the right place. Thanks very much.